Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today to unpack the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all.
In this reality we now call home.
Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. So glad to see everyone's here. Let's do a few shout outs here before we begin. We got Super Mario Brothers 3. Welcome back. We got Go Kart Bob is here. Cesar Rodriguez is here. Good to see everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful week. It's been a crazy week, right, Theresa? A lot of things happening. A lot of things happening this week.
Yeah. We got
savings.
daylight savings time, which is a huge Mandela effect. Want to talk about that?
Savings time, not saving, it's savings. That's what I remember.
Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow night we turn it ahead, or is it tonight?
I always look at it like it's Saturday night. You get the extra time. But you do actually change your clocks on Sunday.
Oh, does that mean I get an extra hour of sleep, or do I lose an hour of sleep? I was getting confused.
If you fall back, you can fall back asleep. In other words, if you spring ahead,
goody.
If you spring ahead, you got to spring up quicker. I guess you got to be a early riser.
I like it when I get extra sleep.
Yeah, me too. I like getting extra sleep.
Yeah.
And
I got a birthday coming up. We going to do birthdays?
I am going to do birthdays, Theresa.
Go ahead, you do it, because if I try to go to it, I'm going to get kicked out. You go ahead and do the birthdays. I'll mute.
All right. So this month, the month of November 3rd is Juan Martinez, followed by November 5th, Simon Wilson. And November 12th, of course, is no one other than Theresa Lynch. November 14th, we have R.D. Pachak. Is it Pachak?
Close enough, Brian.
Okay. November 16th is Jennifer Craig. November 16th is also Meigs B. November 26th is Rich Fasanik, the guitar mechanic. And November 29th is Keith Landy. So quite a few November birthdays, guys.
And if there's anybody that has a birthday in November, happy birthday, early or late. Happy birthday if you're a November baby. Right?
Yes, happy birthday. If we missed your birthday, happy belated birthday as well.
Yep.
Pushing Button 62 is here. Welcome back.
Hey, Pushing Buttons.
All right, so first, we have this segment, guys. If you're new here to our channel, we talk about stuff from the group.
Yep.
Mandela
My group.
Residue Hunters. Yep, Theresa's group. Saturn, this is something I pointed out. Found this pop up on a news article that actually it's from Earth.com. Saturn's magnificent rings will vanish by 2025. Well, and I said, what? How is that possible? Why are the rings going to disappear all of a sudden? When you click this, basically, it talks about the history of it. In 1610, Galileo first laid eyes upon the rings of Saturn, and his initial observations led him to that resembled ears through a telescope. But later, the rings were more seen with the proper gear. But presently, scientists understand that the rings are dwindling, steadily disintegrating into a shower of icy particles. It's going to descend onto the planet's atmosphere. So in 2025, Saturn, it says here, will align edge on with Earth, rendering its splendid rings virtually invisible. So it'd be like you're looking at a sheet of paper edge, pretty much. I thought that was interesting. I'm sure they're I'm sure they're going to come back because they've always been there for thousands, millions of years. Theresa, you want to read this next one?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, sorry.
Brian?
You want to read the next one?
Okay. This one is from Diamond Heart. In the Back to the Future Part 2, this is where they go to the future. Biff has a casino called Biff's Casino. Does anybody know that there was real life 1950s Biff Casino in Las Vegas? I live here and I've never heard of this casino, and we're going to show you pictures of it. I've never heard of this one before. Check it out.
Yeah, look at that.
No way. I look at old pictures all the time and I've never once seen this. This must be new.
Does it kind of remind you of Back to the Future 2, like where he had that whole?
Where he was at was a tall tower. Remember that? It was tall. This one's more flat, like one story. But his casino was really tall. Remember when he had to go on the elevator? Yeah, this is nothing like it. No,
but maybe
quite the opposite.
I wonder if it's possible the writers of Back to the Future might have borrowed from this place in history.
That's what I'm wondering. But
Very
for me, this never existed. This casino never existed in Vegas. Never.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Let's see the comments. Let's see what you guys are saying.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And that is a real casino, huh? That was really here.
I see Bellator Senex is here. Welcome.
Hello.
And if you're new here, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe. It helps out the algorithm. And also be sure to look at Theresa Lynch's group.
Yes.
She's grown. What are we on? Year 6, year 5 of yours?
Year 6 next year. May the 4th be with you. Remember?
Yeah, may the 4th be with you. Be year number 6.
And I'm up to 2,700 members, I believe, right now, and growing.
2,700.
Yep, growing. Just make sure if you do apply to go in there, just answer all the questions truthfully, and then I will let you in. Just make sure you answer them. It's important to know that you're not a troll.
Yeah, there's trolls, but there's also bots, because there's bots that scour the internet, and by putting questions up there, they don't know how to answer it a lot of the time. So
exactly. So please answer the questions, and I'll get you in.
It's a human test. We want to make sure you're human.
Yep. It's called Mandela Reality Residue Hunters with an S.
All right, so do you want to explain this one, Theresa, also about the Terminator? Because Matt Reed.
Oh, and it was a private, and it is a private group, by the way. Private.
Yeah, so you can feel free to voice your opinions related to the Mandela effect.
You want to read this from Brian?
Oh, okay. So Terminator 1984. We all know the movie, but there's something I never noticed before: an obvious eye patch. That's what Matt Reed was saying. He's one of our top contributors in the group. There's a close-up there. Let me see if I can just look through here. You guys see an eye patch? You may have to actually watch the high-def version of the movie. But do you recall seeing that? Guys? Theresa?
No way, Brian. That's new.
So these were the glasses the Terminator wore. They're the glasses gargoyles ANSI Classics, I guess is what they're called. But yeah, apparently there's been an eye patch there that Matt Reed says was never there before. And that was from Terminator. That was the first Terminator, right? Yeah, first Terminator. All right, so now we're on to Simon Wilson's post here. Watching Ghostbusters for some spooky season entertainment, and I'm fairly certain those green oxidized copper lampposts weren't there before at the New York Library. You remember that New York Library scene? Lost count how many times I've seen this movie, but I just remember the marble columns. Yeah, isn't that weird? You guys remember that at all? Teresa, did I lose you?
Do you see it?
Yeah, what do you guys think? No,
I don't remember that.
Super Mario Brothers says, "Where's Sandy? Let's get the party started." Right?
She's coming. Sandy will be coming. She's just doing some last minute finishing up some things for her to show you guys. You're gonna love it. Just be a little more patient.
Cesar Rodriguez says, "No patch during my time." Bellator Senex says,
Hi, Bellator. Check it out, Brian.
I'm shaking my head too when I see this. I'm like, no.
I don't remember that. Look how bright they are.
Yes.
Oh, as you guys know, we had a death recently, and the only reason why I post deaths in my group is because there's been several times that we remember somebody passing away, and some reason they're still alive. So I've been trying to do posts on really famous people, and so I have some kind of residue, and hopefully it doesn't disappear. So, Brian, you want to read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's a long one.
It's all right. So updated. Supposedly Matthew drowned in his jacuzzi in his home in L.A., but somehow this doesn't make sense. Did he have a medical issue or what? Something doesn't add up. So rest in peace, Friend star Matthew Perry has died at 54 years old, October 28, 2023. It was on a Saturday, according to law enforcement sources who spoke to ABC News. According to LAPD, a call was received at 4:07 p.m. PT for a male in his 50s who was unresponsive. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner will determine the cause of death. Perry was best known for playing Chandler on the Chandler Bing on the hit ensemble sitcom, which ran from 1994 to 2004. Perry also starred in the TV series Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip and was the co-creator and the star of the sitcom Mr. Sunshine. His film career included the movies Fools Rush In, Almost Heroes, and 17 Again. So,
and if you remember, there was another Mandela effect associated with Friends, the claps, the song at the very beginning, the Romantics, I believe, did it. And a lot of people remember 5 claps, but unfortunately, there were only 4 claps. You know, and I don't want to sing the song, but you know what I'm talking about.
The song, it's the Rembrandts. I'll be there for you.
Rembrandts. I'm sorry. What I get Romantics. Rembrandt.
I'll be there for you. And also, there's a Mandela effect where with the song, some people remember when the rain starts to fall and when the rain starts to pour. Which one is it? Is it fall? Is it fall or pour?
Rain starts to pour. Fall. God, I got like a duel on that one.
I'll be there for you.
When the rain starts to pour. Rain. Fall.
I always said fall. But
yeah, I'm like leaning more. Yeah. What do you guys remember in the chat? Do you remember pour? Or do you remember fall? And how many claps do you remember? You remember 4 claps? You know, no one told you that it was going to be this way. How many claps? 4 or 5? So see if you can answer both of these questions. 4 or 5 for the claps, or pour or fall. Let's hear what you have to say, Brian. Let's hear what they have to say in the chat.
Rachel Casada said, I'm crying about this.
I know. Me too. I really liked him as an actor.
Namus Nam said, died suddenly, found non-responsive in his bathtub. I wonder what happened to him. R.I.P. Matthew Perry.
Brian, a lot of people are remembering 5 claps, but I hate to tell you guys the bad news. It's 4 now. Right, Brian?
I remember.
I don't want you to get I didn't want you to. I didn't want you to get a copyright, but it would be cool if you could play the beginning of it. But I don't know if you get a copyright. You know what I mean?
I will get a copyright for playing.
I know. Don't take a chance.
YouTube has been cracking down. I've reapplied for monetization.
Yeah.
But they turned it down again because I have to get rid of all my copyrighted stuff.
Yep.
Before I can do that.
So we didn't find the cause of death for this, did we yet? Have you seen the updates on his death? Like, are you able to Google and see if there's any updates? Because I haven't checked. Brian.
So Matthew Perry, according to Fox News, I'm looking here.
See if there's any updates, because it's always changing. I think they got to do I think he had a funeral today or yesterday, but I don't know if they did an autopsy yet, or they had to if they buried him. Duh. What do you see?
So,
oh, there is something. Go ahead and bring that up.
Well, again, these news sources are, no matter what news you're looking at, they're always going to be biased. Okay, I'll say that ahead of time. Let's just see what Fox News has to say about it.
There's something.
So,
Whoops.
Yes. Allow ads.
Get rid of those ads.
I have an ad blocker.
Cause of death
Why it ain't working?
No, they want you to allow the ads on here. Guess I'll have to hit it. Okay.
This is news from November 3rd. Second, is this say second or third? What's it saying?
Of course, when someone dies, they have to do a toxicology report.
Yeah.
If there's affected drugs or alcohol, right? So, Matthew Perry's death investigation continued to raise more questions than answers 6 days after his death.
Mm-hmm.
So, the autopsy was completed today, and toxicology results are pending. If he died of a heart attack, which is what they said, right?
Yeah.
It would be immediately apparent, and they would have said so. Where we stand now is in their relief part of the toxicology, and it indicates for some reason they're holding up the rest of it. So
there's something suspicious about this. You just don't drown in a hot tub unless he did have a heart attack and he did drown. But they're saying there was no drugs on him. I don't know, Brian. What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to say, but I do know that there's warnings posted wherever you go in the public about hot tubs. You're not supposed to.
Oh, you're right. Maybe the heat was too much for him.
You're not supposed to stay in the hot tub longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, where I live at, we have like a jacuzzi, like a hot thing, and they said don't go in there too long because it can really affect your heart and everything. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So maybe he was in too long.
Yeah.
I know they're relaxing and everything, but yeah, you got to be very careful with them. Yep. That's a shame because he was a really good actor. You know what I mean?
Yep, I know what you mean. Let's see. We got 27 people watching.
Wow. Should we do a shout out?
Perhaps we have time for maybe a couple of maybe short, maybe 5 or 10 minute calls if you guys are interested.
Yeah, let's do a call in.
Post the phone number.
You want to post the phone number and I'll mute?
Sure.
I know CJ's out there. I bet she'll call in. CJ, if you're listening, come on, call in, girl. Brian, you want to post the phone number?
Yeah. Let me do that.
Okay.
Remember, there was some issues where they couldn't hear last time, so
we could try it again. See what happens.
All right, let's try this.
Just one call, Brian. Just one call. Anybody wants to call in? We got a lot to cover too.
Yes, we do have
Sandy
a lot to cover.
Sandy will be coming soon, and there's a lot to cover.
Hey, Jeff, how close is Sandy to getting everything
put
together?
Hey,
I'm not
Hey, Jeff.
sure. Hopefully pretty close.
Okay.
Just one call then,
Well-
Brian. Just limit to one call.
Sandy puts in so much hard work. We got to give her credit where credit's
Yeah.
due. So thank you, Sandy, for putting this together for us tonight.
A lot of hours. She puts in hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Too much.
All right, we got time for one caller. Can
One call.
somebody please?
Make sure you save the phone number, Brian, or put it in the chat.
We may actually do better inviting them on the show if they wanted to come on the show.
Oh, that's a good idea. You guys, somebody wants to come on the show and join us? Brian can send you a StreamYard.
Yeah, I could send you a
come on the
StreamYard
show.
link.
Link.
Just
You get a
email
link.
my email, MandelaEffectAwareness@gmail.com. I'll post it here in the chat. And I'll post it from Sandy's and my destination. I know some of you guys are watching from Sandy's channel. Okay, anyone want to join the show tonight? You're welcome to. Just email me, and I'll shoot you a link. There, problem solved. Let's see, looking at my email now. Come on, you guys. Anyone want to join? I like Jason's statement here. I'm starring that one.
Well, if they don't
Jason,
want to join us, what about them just calling in then? If they don't want to join.
I'm checking my email. I mean, calling in would be fine, but I'd probably have to give out my main number. I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because we're with the laptop that I currently have, it doesn't allow integration for whatever reason of the microphone and speaker. Yeah, I like what Jason said here. The Mandela effect has got me questioning reality. Yeah, Jason, you can join in on your phone. We do suggest if you have like earbuds or something, because with the way it works, in order to see what's on your screen, you have to put it on speaker. And a lot of times, phones that have speaker phones will echo in a room, so you may not get the full experience unless you have earbuds. But yeah, you can join in with that. I can send you a link.
So you guys were showing that Matthew Perry thing, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Brian,
Yeah,
are you
it
going to do any drawings or anything tonight, or is that another weekend, perhaps?
Yeah, we were gonna do another drawing tonight. As we get closer to Christmas, I think we'll have the bigger, like $10 gift cards we'll be giving away.
Okay. Brian, do you have anything you want to show? Oh, wait for Sandy.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Why don't you what we could tell everybody about tomorrow, or do we want to surprise them?
Yeah, talk about tomorrow's show, Brian and Jeff.
All right, so should I spill the beans?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tomorrow you guys are going to be in for a real treat. We've scheduled the show in advance. So we're doing a skit for Back to the Future Day. We did it before in the past. It's going to be something totally different. So you guys will be in for a real one there. And so yeah, because November 5th, Back to the Future Day. That's what we have in mind to do. We're going to have all Back to the Future Mandela effects presented tomorrow night. Right, Jeff?
Yep. Now, I'll be on the skit. Unfortunately, I won't be on the show, though.
Yes. And this show that we're doing tonight is, I believe Sandy was saying it's part 2. I haven't seen what she's got so far in the folders, but it's supposed to be Halloween part 2, or is that right?
Yeah.
All right, come on, you guys. We're waiting for one person, 2 people, however many want to come aboard. We got some room. Yep, November 5th, 1955 is where it all started, right? Yeah, well said. Super Mario Brothers 3 said the whole Batman Man thing seems odd. Was it a cry for help?
Yeah, the whole thing seems weird, and I can't say what I think here, but I think some things about it. Let's just say that. In fact, as soon as I heard it, I was a little suspicious. It's very sad. I know that. He was actually my favorite on that show, on Friends.
Yeah, he was funny. You know, he added
Yeah.
that sort of, and he was very sarcastic, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I love a good sarcasm, you know,
me
from time
too.
to time.
He was good at that. I actually thought he was funnier than Joey or any of them.
I have one of those T-shirts that says the National Sarcastic Society on the top, and then down below, you know what it says? It
What?
says like we needed your opinion anyway.
I like that.
Yeah, Gerald Neal says there was no mention of homicide. Very strange.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't seem like we have all the information that we should have. Let's just say that.
Man, where is Sandy? All right. Come on, we need one. There she is. She's here. Hey, Sandy.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh
good
my
to see
God,
you.
you're
Sandy.
here.
Oh
Welcome.
my
I
God.
am. Hello. Hello.
She lives.
I hope you got glad tidings, right? Happy Mandelaween.
Happy Mandelaween, everyone. Brian, I
It
was
wouldn't
going to say,
be
I don't know why you're taking a call. You have so much to cover.
well. I was
We're trying to
waiting
waste
on your
time.
direction, but let me just say it wouldn't be Mandelaween without Sandy Diva, or should I say Scary Diva in this episode.
Well, thank you. But you have 13 folders to cover, so I would get to it. I told you
All
to
right,
start doing them.
like the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, right?
Yep. You're starting with Killer Dirt and working your way up and skipping Michael Jackson till the end because Michael Jackson caused problems today. So I had to edit it.
Oh no.
And I fixed it so that this time it doesn't happen.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
It's making me re-log into Flickr again. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing because I just finished uploading.
Hey, we all matched, guys. Look, our pictures for once.
Yes, we do.
Sandy made all these pictures, or icons. What do you call them, Sandy?
Profile pictures, avatars.
Avatars.
Avatars. Yeah, I forgot to call them icons. Look, at we all match.
I am not in the chat
Wait.
yet, everyone. Just to let you know.
You said which one am I starting with? Is it the
Kill-
Mandelaween
No, Killer Dirt.
Killer Dirt?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yep, and working your way up. And when you get to Michael Jackson, skip it till the end.
Theresa, you going to be good? You going to hold out?
I'll stay for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm going to try.
I'm just making sure you're all right over there.
All right. I'll try to stay a little bit longer. Maybe 20, 30 minutes max. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll
sounds
try.
good.
I'm trying. I drink a Coke.
Yeah, if you need,
So
if
I
you
went
need to,
close. Huh?
you need to mute. If you need to mute, you can mute.
Okay, that sounds good. But I'll be here. Like I said, I drink a big can of Coke, try to keep me awake for a while. But I'm going to do my best to stay awake for a little while before I say goodnight. Okay?
Sounds
Sure.
good.
I'm going to
Sounds
mute
good.
now. I'm going to mute. I'm going to mute. Mute, mute, mute.
All right, somebody want to read this one while I prep the rest of these slides?
Jeff, would you mind? Because I'm still in Messenger sending the folders.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Excuse me.
With all the precautions the world took in 2020 for something that had a 97% survival rate, it makes me wonder if what I'm about to ask is an Emmy or not. Have you ever heard of time bomb disease? Or
What?
melioidosis?
It sounds like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's what it sounds like.
Right?
I love to pick these apart. Let's see if we make that bigger. Does that help?
Thanks.
Jeff, you're going robot-y.
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me see if I can fix these mic settings or something. Okay, try it again. Say
Don't
something.
touch. Oh,
Jeff.
I think it's his internet. I was going to say, don't mess with the mic settings. Flickr does not Flickr, StreamYard does not like it.
Okay. I guess I'll pick up. So melioidosis is a disease that you get from inhaling, ingesting, or absorbing through broken skin. A bacteria. It's called Burkholderia. I'm not even going to begin to pronounce that second word, but
Good
it's
enough.
pseudo something. It's found in soil. Originally, it was only in Australia and Southeast Asia, but it now has been found in the Gulf region of the United States. What? So the craziest parts about this disease are it can kill you in 48 hours if left untreated, and it has a fatality rate of 10 to 50%. That's a huge range. So it's a bacteria that can get in your lungs, I guess.
Yes.
Other names for this infection includes Whitmore's disease, Gardner's disease, and the Great Mimicker. Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of the killer soil? And guys, Jeff is back. I'm gonna get him in here.
Okay.
All right, Jeff, you good?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. So
All
this next slide, you can read the next one here.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
All right. So there have been cases where the disease has caused illness many years after the initial infection. Warns the government message here. It's called killer dirt. Okay, so keep an eye on that one. Hopefully we can get it under control, right? Which I've never heard of it. It's a Mandela effect to me.
I've never heard of it either, and it's in the Gulf now, which is crazy. Absolutely not.
All right.
Is that it for that one?
that's it for that one.
That's it. It was short and sweet.
Oh,
The
okay.
long ones come later.
Sandy, put a disclaimer out there. Guys, 5 new Mandela effects tonight, so hang in there if you've already seen these, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks, Sandy, for putting that out there. And
No
thank you
problem.
guys for being patient with us. Sometimes we have technical difficulties on here, and we try to work through them, okay? So thanks for being patient with us.
And I am switching. Like, it's always been my thing to do like I'm gonna put it in the chat, Brian. I always do this, but they changed the icons. I don't like them anymore, so I'm switching to this.
So
That's
I
what
do
I'm
have a
switching
question.
to now.
I have a question though, guys. You guys here in the in our little chat here, do you guys have gigabit? You guys have gigabit internet there where you live? And
Yeah.
you okay? Yeah, I've got gigabit.
You kind of have to have gigabit if you're going to present. You kind of have to.
Yeah, because you're basically on my server for the most part, right?
Hmm. Well, no, I'm using my own internet here.
Right.
I'm just saying
right.
when you present, it takes a lot. You kind of need that gigabit to make everything run smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sandy's calling a Mandela on a TV series that she believes that was not in her past reality, but she's going to let us decide if it's a Mandela effect for us. So yes or no? Have you ever heard of the TV series Holmes and Yo-Yo?
And I was surprised to learn that 2 people did.
Is
The rest did not, but 2 did. 2 did.
I was surprised too. I didn't think anyone would have heard of this.
And John Nada remembers it reversed. Yo-Yo and Holmes.
Gerald Neal says yes.
Yeah, Gerald Neal was one of the ones that remembered it.
Okay.
It was Gerald Neal, Sag Arm, and John Nada, I believe. They were the 3 that remembered it.
Yep.
Okay. And what was this for? What time was this timeline was this from actually? What time frame?
Around 1975.
It looks like I was guessing 1970s, so I was assuming 1970s.
76 to 78.
Yep, it actually says right here. That answered my own question. The series aired from 1976 to 1978, first in Canada and then also in the U.S. and Mexico, which is odd because this is an American TV production.
So Christine Pendleton does not remember it. Rich Vasanik actually did hear of it, but never watched it. Jason Arduengo, if I pronounced your name wrong, I'm sorry. Never heard of it. Joseph Zepso's a no, never heard of it for Christine Pendleton. But Jason was born in 1980. Pushing Buttons is a no.
Yeah, Jason, I was born in 1980 as well. Never heard of it. There's a comedy detective series about a cop and his android partner, Yo-Yo Yanovich. So RoboCop before RoboCop, I guess, right?
Oh, thank you, Jason. With a name like Steven Anzo, I really try to be phonetic with people's names.
This reminds me of did you ever see Not Quite Human and Still Not Quite Human?
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen them. I know of them.
I think they were in the 90s or late 80s, those movies. But this kind of reminds me of that. And while it only had 1 season, it was popular enough for them to create a Halloween costume for kids.
Which is
have you ever
also
seen
weird.
this before? Kind of creepy looking, actually.
No, it's creepy that there's a costume for kids, but almost no one's heard of it.
Yeah. For a show
Jeez.
that didn't even last long. Very strange.
It's called Holmes and Yo-Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I grew up mainly on like Knight Rider and Transformers and
that's another thing. Was this like absolutely horrible? Because wouldn't it have been like on syndication somewhere?
You would think.
Those of you that have seen this, was this absolutely horrible?
Yeah, it's strange. So some of you guys, this isn't it's not a Mandela effect. I've never heard of it myself. I can't say either way, but I'm also not gonna judge anyone who does remember it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jeff, you want to read this one?
Yeah.
All right.
I have 2 random questions to ask you that definitely fall into the categories of bizarre, weird, and what I believe is a reality insert. Thank you to Jeff for finally giving it a good name. If I did. I think I may have heard that somewhere. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, it's a great name. Reality insert is a great name.
Thanks.
Remember, guys, if you did see these before, just answer what you originally answered, so you don't give it away to the people who have not seen it.
Question number 1.
It's not
Go
on
ahead,
our
Jeff.
screen yet. That's why.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's that.
Yeah.
It's that delay.
It takes
It
a moment.
got on the screen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Question number 1, not including the Spanish flu pandemic Mandela effect or for work-related reasons. In approximately what year do you recall Americans first wearing surgical masks?
So again, for health, like I know some people like with cystic fibrosis have to wear them. Health, medical, like actual, the general population wearing masks. In approximately what year do you remember the general population in America wearing surgical masks? So Joseph
I
says,
really don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
Joseph says 2020. Christine Pendleton says 2020. Never did in America, just China, says Jason. Ryu says surgery stuff. Well, yeah, definitely surgery stuff. Oh, 2019, 2020, Ryagami says. Rich Vasanix is 2020. Michael Fontaine is guessing 1980. Never before, only at Ground Zero in 2001, says Gerald Neal. But that would be work related. They were working to clean up Ground Zero.
Yeah, but we're talking about as massive, like on the public, like mandated, right?
Right. Oh, I guess, yeah, if you were, because I do remember them shutting down that area to the public. Unless you were there for a reason to help clean up, bring supplies, things like that.
All right, question number 2. In what year or decade do you recall the first official Earth Day in the United States?
So for the previous question, pushing button says 2010.
1969.
And Ryagami says
I'm guessing.
2019, I say, but near the end. Okay, so now for this question, Christine says 80s. Pushin says 1990.
Mm-hmm.
What was the moon landing? 1969, right?
Yes.
It was a moon landing?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly,
Joseph
yeah. There was.
Joseph says
See,
60s.
notice my answer was supposedly.
Michael Fontaine says 1970. Bellador says 1985. Rich Vasanix says early 70s. Valentine, not one of you, welcome, says 666. Gerald Neal says 1976.
91 for me till
Right.
I saw this.
So what's the prize if we get it right?
Theresa, what do you say? You're here. You can chime in. Is she here? Did she fall out?
Okay. Theresa? Are you there? I guess she muted.
I'm here. What's up?
Well, what year do you think Earth Day was designated in the United States?
In the 70s. I kind of vaguely remember 70s. Them starting in the 70s. It was like the wildfire. It was like the wild child. 70s, 80s, maybe late 70s. Yes, for me, 100%.
I'm with you though, Theresa, because of the whole like the hippie movement.
Yes, the hippie movement. Exactly what I was saying.
But I'm talking about official, like the government made it official.
Yeah, I think
70s or 80s. 70s or 80s. Yep.
I'm guessing 1969, but that's just me.
I'm saying 73, 1973, early 70s. Let's find out what the answer is.
Find out.
I had never heard of it till 91.
Well, remember, I think I'm a lot older than you, Jeff. Am I?
Not
Yeah,
that
but
much.
we have anchor memories with the year, Theresa.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we have anchor memories with it. But
I was-
Valentine says
Yeah.
1970. The hippies, Gerald says the hippies started, but it went national during the 70s. And Super Mario Brothers says 1970.
So what's the answer?
Yeah, what's the answer? I
have to
say
read.
70s.
We have to, go ahead. Who's reading?
Me.
And
ahead,
what's
Jeff.
the reveal?
Okay, so I'll read this here. I had never heard of Earth Day or had been forced to celebrate it in school until 1990.
It was a big thing when I was in school. A big
wasn't
thing.
Until Theresa, it wasn't until 1990 for me. It was my
And 91 for me.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know the
Okay.
year because of my 8th grade class planted a tree in Knights
Are
Park.
you
to celebrate.
serious? Wait.
Seriously.
You're telling me it was not until the 1990s?
No, Theresa, that's not the answer. That's what I
No, that's our
remember.
memory.
Yeah, let's go ahead and finish the slide. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Jeff.
I want to see the response. I want to see the response. What is it? I say 70s, 100%.
I'm with Theresa. I'd say.
Thank you.
But I still
Us
want to say
old people
19.
remember better, right?
I still want to say 1969 to be different. Go ahead.
Okay, like I said, just go on. But Brian is correct. Theresa, you're a little off. Brian, go on.
I said early 70s.
Jeff was reading. Jeff,
No,
go
you
ahead.
already read it, Brian. Go ahead.
Yeah, I read
I
this
said
one.
early 70s. Okay, there you go. I was right. Right?
You said late 70s, early.
No, I
80s.
said early 70s.
Yeah, she did.
Didn't I? I said early 70s.
Yeah, you did.
And
I
then she
did.
said
Early
maybe
means
late
like 70s, 71.
1980s.
Yep, I remember this 100%.
Theresa gave
Good
a
job.
decade. It's okay.
But according to this inserted reality, Earth Day became official 20 years earlier on April 23rd, 1970. Do you remember this?
So half does and half don't. It was
but-
not 1990 for me, 1,000,000,000,000%.
So,
Yeah.
so for me, it wasn't a thing till 91. I had never heard it, not even once.
Yeah,
Same.
but now I will say this. Logically, it makes sense for Earth Day after the hippie movement. However,
does,
I'm just going by what I'm thinking in my head logically of where it would be. However, I wasn't born until 1980, and I don't remember talking about it in class until at least probably like 1985, 86. We were talking about Earth Day then.
And I also do not recall the slogan, give Earth a chance, off of give peace a chance. I don't remember that either. And that was one of the slogans. Brian, next slide.
You just reminded me of a brief moment in my memory of people waving lighters in the air saying give peace a chance.
Do you guys remember this?
There was a gigantic protest on Fifth Avenue in NYC on 4/22/70 that saw 250,000 or more gathered and marching.
So those of you that remember the 70s, do you remember this specifically? We got Splatter, John Nada, Mustard Seed of Faith. I'll jump it in the chat.
Yeah, Sandy, my mom would know if anything, because she lived in the Bronx.
Theresa, do you remember this?
No, I don't.
Neither does Joseph Zepso, Rich Vasanik,
No, I don't remember that.
Jason Arduengo, never heard of this.
Nope.
And it gets much, much weirder.
Eldor doesn't remember this. And Jason, who doesn't remember it, says, I'm from Queens and my mom lived in New York. Valentine says, no way. I never heard of it. I was 1 in 1970, says Christine. Don't remember that, says Gerald Neal. Pushing buttons is a note. This is news to me, says Valentine. Hey, Tobin.
All right. I need to switch gears a moment, going back to the first question. I do not even remember the masks from the Spanish flu years in my past, besides medical or work-related reasons. They were never worn until 2020.
So for me, 2020, maybe 2019, but not in the U.S.
Right. I do remember China wearing them whenever there was a flu going around, though. Just not Americans. But masks were worn for, what's that word?
Asiatic.
Asiatic flu in 1957 and Hong Kong flu in 1968. I do not remember this. Do you? They didn't wear them as often as they did for 2018.
It's supposed to be 1918.
Or 1918, that's right. In 2020, though.
Theresa, you were alive. Do you remember Asiatic and Hong Kong flu and people wearing masks for them?
A what flu?
What was that?
Do you remember people wearing masks
No.
for Hong Kong flu in 19?
No, but I remember Hong Kong flu, but I don't remember the mask. No.
Do you
No
remember
way.
it being a pandemic?
Huh? What?
Do you remember Hong Kong flu being big like a pandemic?
No. But I vaguely remember the name though.
They're saying that's the thing. You shouldn't. It'd be like you vaguely remembering COVID. It's supposed to be just as bad now. Asiatic flu and Hong Kong flu.
I think everybody's going to remember COVID, guys. It's going to be in the history book, just like 9/11 was. You know what I mean?
Well, this should have been remembered too, though. That's the thing.
In 2020, I remember them saying that we have a pandemic about once every 100 years.
And it's funny how they called it Asiatic flu and Hong Kong flu, and nobody called anybody racist for saying it.
Of course not. But the point is, I clearly remember them saying there's pandemics like once every 100 years, and then they referred to the Spanish flu. No one mentioned these. No one.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Tobin Schwing read my mind. Hong Kong fluey.
Hey, Michael Russum. Hi, Noise Guru. Noise Guru says, I vaguely remember COVID. Gerald Neal says, not my reality. And John Nada says,
that's my phrase, not my reality.
And John Nada remembers never mind like I do. One word.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, that's an old one. This is a debunking, everyone. Sorry.
All right. And side note, they were wearing these because of smog, not any virus. Still do not remember ever seeing this picture before it showed up in the community in 2021, though.
No, I do not. I don't know who found that picture, but I'd never seen it before.
Sgt. Pepper's Ugly Masks Club Band.
But there's a woman wearing the mask for the virus reason in the bottom corner. It's just nuts.
Those are some weird looking ones too.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I asked about the masks in the first place had nothing to do with any flu or virus.
Theresa, chime in here.
Theresa?
I have never seen Americans marching for Earth Day in 1970, and I've never seen photos of protesters in the 1970s wearing surgical masks and gas masks. Have you?
So that big protest that I showed you, they were wearing surgical masks and gas masks. Does anyone remember that?
Why?
You're asking me? I don't know why. I guess because they wanted clean air and they had to wear a mask for clean air. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense to me because you're just recycling bad air.
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't know that back then, I guess. But still, I don't remember this.
That top left one looks like one of the characters from Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Or Dr.
Many
Who.
of the people in the protest wore gas masks, even placing them on their children. Those that couldn't get one wore surgical masks. Even advertisements had them.
Mm-hmm. So the chat is saying, first time seeing all this from Gerald Neal. Splatter says no. It's so stupid because your eyes aren't protected, says John Otta. Tobin says, I've never seen it either, and I'm 59. Jason, what's up? Oh, Super Mario Bros. 3. Notice the Earth Day balloons. Yes. Yes. This was the Earth Day protest. This is so bizarre.
And that girl in the corner with the mask down, like we saw people do.
And going back to the Beatles picture, Rich Sand says,
Guys. I'm saying
Yeah.
goodnight, okay?
Oh, good night, Theresa.
All right, good
I
night,
tried.
Teresa.
What time is tomorrow's thing?
10:04 a.m. is our curtain
No,
call will be 15 minutes before then.
What time does that mean? I need to set my alarm. I'm sorry, because I don't want to oversleep. I'm sorry,
8:04,
sorry,
Teresa.
guys.
8:04
8
your
a.m.
time is when we're starting.
Huh?
8 a.m., Teresa.
Got it. Okay. I'll set my alarm for before 8 o'clock. So I will see you guys in the morning and on to the future.
Good night, Teresa. Thanks for
Good
being
night,
here.
everyone. Love
Good
y'all.
night.
Good night.
Teresa.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
So,
Love y'all. Bye.
bye.
Hey, Sandy,
Mm-hmm.
real quick. So a quick search on ChatGPT says during Earth Day protests in 1970, the people in New York wore masks. It was to shield themselves from the city's particulate dense air.
Well,
I
I mean, okay, but there's the advertisement right there where they have a gas mask on the Earth. And what I was saying was that picture of the Beatles, Rich Pasanic says, my cousin, who is a Beatles collector, never saw the masks, and neither did I. And I agree.
Wow.
I've never seen it. I love the Beatles.
Yeah, this is an ME for sure. All right. Like I said before, this is 100% inserted reality or history for me. I have no memory of masking for Earth Day. 2, pandemics just a decade apart and Earth Day 20 years sooner. Almost forgot, have you ever seen this symbol before? Apparently it was the Earth Day symbol in 1970.
So those of you that remember any of this, do you remember this symbol? Like, this is weird. I've never seen this symbol in my life.
No.
Nope.
Bryogamine says no. First time seeing the symbols, Gerald Neal. Joseph says no. Aw, thanks for the heart. Noise Guru. John Nod is a no. Tobin's a no. No way, never had a symbol, says Rich. Yeah, the Green Lantern ring. Noise says that's the Greek letter pi. Is it pi? That's not pi, it's pi. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
No, it's. I thought it was theta. Theta is the representation of degrees and radians or something like that. And anyway,
Cushion says something about
no,
it
it's
a little
theta.
familiar.
Theta. Sorry, theta.
And Christine says no.
Been so long.
Isn't that the theta symbol? Yeah. And nope, never for Jason. All right, Jeff, we got to get through these. Come on.
Yeah.
We got to move.
It was also the largest protest in the USA until the Summer of Love protest. How have I never heard of this? Do you remember these inserted realities? Let us know in the comments below.
So this is the largest protest in U.S. history until 2020.
This whole thing is a total ME for me. And also, Earth Day was a new thing in 91 in my memory. I remember people saying it was a new thing.
Same. 1990 though for me.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it was a new thing. It was not anything they did before in my reality.
All right, guys. In the
All right,
creation of Adam, in the Sistine Chapel, what type or types of beings do you remember around God? What do you remember around God?
Christine says angels.
And there's something I need to add to this that we haven't been saying. Probably because I wasn't there. It was just you and Theresa saying. Okay, and Pushin says angels. Noise Guru says little Sandys. Aww.
I see. Oh, I'm gonna star that comment, Noise Guru.
Michael Russum says angels. Bellador says cherubim.
Pushing buttons is laughing as well.
I say cherubs.
I'm gonna star that one too. Cherubims. That's a good one.
I said Cupid, says Michael Fontaine. Gerald Neal says Cupid. All right, we can move along. We can move along. What do you guys see on its back? I just want to point this out. There are no wings in that painting.
What?
Yeah. So I remember all the bodies around God being the same. I will accept cherubs or angels, but I do not remember a woman. Do you guys remember a woman in the painting? Yes or no in the chat. Do you remember a woman in the painting? You already saw this.
I thought it was all babies. Like they were all baby angels.
Me too.
Same. I thought they were cherubs. Jason says cherub. Gerald Neal says nope. Bellador says no. Not sure, says Michael Russum. No, says Joseph. No, whoa, man, says Pushing Buttons. Oh, Super Mario Brothers. You got to star another one, Brian.
I did. I starred that one, Heavenly Sandy.
Christine Pendleton says, I don't think so. Noise Guru says, cherubs have 1,000 eyes? What?
Yeah, Jason, I'm with you on that one. The thinker hand on the forehead, not chin. Yeah, it looks weird now. It's all concocted on his chin. It doesn't seem comfortable at all.
Ryogami, we're doing PM. I know he arrived at 6:15 a.m., but we're doing 6:15 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, John Nada. That is awesome, and I can actually see the sticker because I'm not in StreamYard. I'm not in the app. Yay!
Thank you, John Nada.
Thank you, John Nada.
All right, we can go on, Brian. Show him the woman.
Whoa, what is that?
That's the woman. That is her. Not only is she in the painting, she sits next to God with his arm around her. Am I the only one who does not remember her? And she looks like she's annoyed at God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why does she have like manly muscles?
Yep.
Like, look at those muscles.
I have seen biblical images of angels.
Those eyes.
Catholic school. I know, she's pissed. She's mad at God. Like, why are you talking to Adam? Anyway, go on. Let's go on.
This reminds me of how his other painting, The Last Supper, changed, and now John, the disciple, looks like he looks like a woman now in the painting next to Jesus.
We are not going to skip folders because we took too long doing these. Let's go.
I know.
All right, so really quickly, where are the wings? The cherubs, the angels. I see not a single wing. Not a one. And it looks like there's demons.
No, they had wings on them. They had wings on them.
And it looks like some of the cherubs in the background are men now. like
Yeah,
full-grown men.
Yep.
Yeah, we
I don't
did. We
remember
pointed.
this.
Yeah, me neither. We also pointed out before the first Mandela effect associated with this one was the hand of Adam is higher than God's now, and then now it looks like a brain. That's the
Yeah, that's on the next slide.
right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's gonna go. It's gonna. There's a couple slides coming up still. Guys, does anyone share the memory that I have of it being a red shell, like a clam shell? I kind
Yes.
of remember a shell. I don't know why. But the red cloth is supposed to be like the womb, and it looks more like a brain than anything else to me. But I kind of remember a shell. I don't know why. And the internet has no idea who the woman is. Mary or Eve, they're saying. And some are even saying that's Jesus and not God. There's no way that wasn't God. It is not
Right.
Jesus.
When did this change?
I found it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you can definitely see it's a woman, and she looks like she's mad at God.
And it definitely looks like a brain.
Oh, thank you, Jason.
Jason. Yes, like Venus. Yes, like there was a lot of shell imagery in art in this time period. And I kind of remember a clam shell.
I remember that too.
Like a shell in a cloud, says pushing buttons. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look like what it does now. It's all wrong. The whole thing.
So here's some current reality with the woman. And then I think I have one residue without a woman there. Yeah, one residue, no woman. There may have been more clouds. I can agree to that, Christine. You guys want me to read it? There's a lot of big words here that I said 100 times.
All right, I just
All
gotta
right.
take a quick bathroom break. Be right back. Go ahead and read it.
All right, after I'm done reading this, Jeff, you want to do a shout out? Because he's going to be gone longer than I can read it.
Yeah.
So these creatures may not be a Mandela effect. They could just be species of the deep I had never heard of or seen before. But there is still a chance they could be new to our reality. Jeff? Shout out time.
I can't see both chats though.
I'll go to Brian's. You read mine. I'll go to Brian's.
Okay. All right. We have Ryu. We have Gerald Neal. We have Jason. Sadly, Karen. Joseph Zepzo. Pushing Buttons. John Nada. Gerald Neal. Rich Fasanic. Christine Pendleton. Super Mario Brothers. Noise Guru. Bellator Senex. Valentine, not one of you. Michael Fontaine. Mustard Seed of Faith. Tobin Schwing.
All right, I'm back, you
Michael
guys.
Russum.
We were doing a quick shout out. I also
Yeah.
saw Lord Frybread and Tyrone.
Yeah, thanks for covering for me. We're ready for
Wilson.
Splatter.
the next one.
Okay. A couple years ago, we talked about a sea creature in the community that no one had seen before. That was the same type of creature as a Portuguese man-o-war jellyfish, but it wasn't a jellyfish. The creatures we talked about were these huge tubes and strings found in the ocean. They are like the man-o-war because all of them are siphonophores. And I have to be honest, I do not remember the man-o-war being a siphonophore. Let me explain. So guys, do you remember a man-o-war jellyfish not being a jellyfish? Because it's not a jellyfish. I have only ever known a man-of-war to be a jellyfish, but apparently it has always been a siphonophore. So what is a siphonophore? I'm going to let the marine biologist Elsie Bosselman explain. She is famous for diving a half a mile under the ocean off the coast of Bermuda in 1934, where she witnessed one of these creatures swimming past her diving bell. She says it's a colony of smaller animals, polyps and other beings called zooids. It's a city adrift in the ocean, an undersea New York, whose citizens cooperate closely to keep the bustling society harmoniously alive. Citizens share a common ancestor that once emerged from a fertilized egg, but now they grow and clone themselves and attach their offspring to their own bodies. There is no central brain. Each creature has an independent nervous system, but they share a circulatory system. This frees the small bodies to pursue whatever they might devote themselves to. Some provide protection, some are responsible for eating, for reproduction, or for producing colorful glowing light. Some absorb water and squirt it back out, propelling the siphonophore through the water. Some absorb air or fill with gas to regulate buoyancy. The nectrophoric jellies that propel the siphonophore can't eat, and the polyps that eat can't swim. They depend on each other working together as one. And there's 175 species identified so far. Yeah, Brian. And they're in the order Hydrozoa. That is a man-o-war jellyfish close up. And you can see all the little squiggles and circles. They're all cloning themselves. So basically, siphonophores are clones. Lots and lots of clones that look like one creature. While they typically take on a tube-like shape, some look like jellyfish, and others look like the internet parody of religion, the Pastafarian deity, the flying spaghetti monster. Here is the only video I could find of the flying spaghetti monster or the siphonophore Bathipsia, I'm not even try it, conifera. Bath conifera, we're going to call it that. Too many Y's. Jason says that's a jellyfish.
That bottom left one looks like a rubber chicken for some reason.
That was the video that you cut off, yep.
Yeah, that one? I didn't cut it off.
Oh, yeah, you did. It's long. He lands on the ground, spreads out, changes shape.
Oh, it's a longer video. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
a
thought it was
long video.
looping.
Yeah, because
Sorry
it
about
changes
that.
shape. It's okay. It's because it changes shape and everything. That's why it's a long video.
It's such a slow motion too. Yeah.
No, it's not slow motion. That's how slow it moves.
That's the spaghetti monster.
That's they nicknamed it. I'm still waiting for that to get on my screen so I can read it. There we go. But there's another type of siphonophore that I want to show you. Siphonophore rhizophysa. Rhizophysa. I don't know. This subtype comes in many forms, none of which I have ever seen before. The first looks like a skull and a spine to me. That's what it looks like to me. I see a skull and a spine.
Yeah, I see that too.
Here's more pictures of it. These things can grow like up to 50 feet long. The spine part. This one looks like a stereotypical sheep ghost, but my favorite is the last one. This siphonophore rhizophysa moves by stretching into a thin line and squishing back down into a small cluster. In that small cluster state, it looks like a ghostly apparition of a woman or a fairy, especially when its colony members are glowing. I can't believe this is real. I really can't. Am I thinking of the creatures in Cocoon? It reminds me of the creatures in Cocoon, I think. I think it's Cocoon. Where they glow golden, right? Is anyone there? Ryan, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here.
Am I thinking of Cocoon?
Yeah, kind of like Cocoon. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I hadn't seen that movie in so long. But yeah, it's like that.
Bonus. Here are some other siphonophores just so you can see the variety. There are so many and they are all unique.
Why they call them siphonophores? Because they look like siphon, like a tube.
I guess so, yeah. A lot of them are tube shaped. Mustard Seed of Faith. The only reason why I find this odd is that they've known about these since 1934. So almost 100 years and I've never heard of them.
I wonder what they eat.
Oh, they eat like plankton, like they absorb it through the
Phytoplankton.
Yeah, phytoplankton, algae.
Yeah.
But some, like the man of war, I believe, also eat like small, I want to say crabs or something. They will eat some. They are carnivores. There are some that are carnivores. You'll see some of these look like jellyfish. They are not jellyfish. And that bottom one in the right-hand corner looks like a brain crawling along the seafloor with little tiny legs, and it creeps me out.
It's Krang from the Ninja Turtles. You know Krang, Sandy?
No, I've only seen like a couple episodes of the cartoon.
Okay.
I would turn it on when there was nothing else on. But I've seen the toys and everything. I just didn't know their names.
That one looks like a Disney coach, like a horse coach.
Mm-hmm. You can just skip this one. It's just saying, guys, if you're watching this on a replay, please comment below if you've ever heard of them before.
All right.
You want to read this one, Brian?
Sure. I have several possible Mandelas to cover concerning nuns and sisters and their headgear. And I also have questions about a fictional nun, too. Question number 1. What is the veil on a sister or nun's head called?
Now, Brian, really quick, while we're waiting for answers, did something change with StreamYard? I keep seeing this line pop up across the screen when you move the mouse. It was happening with Jeff last night, too.
Here?
That. Yeah. Why does that keep happening? It never happened before.
I don't know what that line's about. You talking about on the...
Oh, do me a favor. Hit the arrows in the top right corner. Maybe that's
Yeah, I'm going
why.
to do that.
And maybe it'll
The-
stop showing up.
Okay. So we're still waiting on answers for that one.
No, I think it's changed to StreamYard. It's still showing up. Or Flickr. So, Ryugami says a Frodo, a Sam. John Nada says a rabbit. The habit is her dress, isn't it? Nope, you were right. It's a habit. That's what I remember. I remember a habit. A Bilbo.
A Bilbo.
Noise Guru says Krang was in Ant-Man 3. Habit, says John Nada.
Well, in my past, it was only called a habit, but now it's also called a coronet or coronet or a wimple. I can see coronet, but have you ever heard a wimple before? This could be an old Emmy.
Yeah, I didn't have time to research if anyone covered it. Has anyone ever heard it referred to as a wimple before?
Question number 2. Yeah, question number 2. True or false, in your past, was the flying nun based on a real nun?
So true or false in the chat. What do you guys remember? Christine Pendleton is triggered, saying never.
Noise Guru says it's a bad habit.
Michael Rustin says definitely not. I thought it was habit. All right, going to the previous question. Christine Pendleton is very upset. No. Michael Rustin says, I was told it was, never saw it. Gerald Neal, I don't know. I enjoyed that show. Tobin Schwing is a no. John Nodis, I said false. Gidget was a real surfer, I thought. I've never heard of that either, Super Mario Brothers.
All right. So we're going to find out. Before I answer that, take a look at these habits. They are what I remember seeing in my past in paintings, books, movies, stained glass, etc., in schools and church.
This is what I remember. Yes, 100%.
That's Sister Mary Clarence up there at the top right? Yeah.
Yes. Jason says, my aunt is a nun. Never knew flying nun was real.
I've never seen anything like these before in my life. Do any of these wimples and habits match your past memory?
Anyone? Do you recognize these strange ones in the back row?
No.
Because there's more
I
on the
mean,
next
maybe
slide.
the one. I think the one in the middle, the back one in the middle looks like the flying nun. Maybe that one.
Well, we have more. You'll see. Keep going. Look at this ridiculousness.
I mean, you would think there would be a standard to these things, right?
Yes, I could see them changing through the decades and everything, but
The one
I've still never seen them in books, history, art,
Nope, me
stained
either.
glass, nothing. I've never seen anything like these.
the one in these look very much like Star Wars stuff, especially like the one on the top right. What's her name? Queen Amidala or whatever her name is?
Yeah.
And then the one in the middle on the left looks like Darth Vader's helmet.
It does.
I don't know why it just does.
Noise Guru says number 3 is a Sith Lord. Yeah, that's it.
Which one? Which one?
Number 3.
Yes.
Look at the bow. I can't with the bow. Like Donald Duck. I can't. It's bad. Hi, Adam, for Christ.
I mean, they literally looks like they're wearing a paper airplane right here.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is true. The Flying Nun TV series was based on the book series, The 15th Pelican by Tia Rios, and the inspiration for these books was Sister Mary Aquina's Kinski. Aquinas. She didn't fly around the skies due to her habit, but she did fly in the sky with her habit.
Mm-hmm.
What? So there was a real flying nun. She was an expert and a teacher in flying and aviation. She was also the first nun to have a pilot's license.
And she flew with her habit on.
I thought you meant she had telekinesis and she was flying or something like that.
No.
Which brings me to question number 3. Do you remember nuns or sisters wearing habits or coronets similar on the TV series The Flying Nun?
So is this style something you remember them wearing?
Not my reality.
That would be terrifying. That would terrify me as a child. Super Mario were the real flying pigs too?
That's funny. I thought she was doing mushrooms, said Mr. Super Sidewinder.
Yes, Lord Fried Bread. Sally
Yo.
Fields was on the Flying Nun.
I'm I'm starring these comments, Sandy, in the chat so we can read them at the end and laugh hysterically.
Okay.
Pushing Button says, "What were those little things called that the girls made in 2nd and 3rd grade with paper folded? You would choose a number, a color, or something else. It was called a fortune teller. You remember those fortune tellers that you used to make origami?
I do. Gerald Neal says the Flying Nun was the only person I ever seen that habit on. Same.
Yeah, me too. Mary Poppins was the one I knew to fly. Yeah, Jason said.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mary Poppins.
Yes, of course. This was before we were born. But like I said, I went to Catholic school. Stained glass paintings, artwork, religion books, Bibles, everything. Like, how have I never seen any of it?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like these before in my life. Do any of these wimples and habits match your past memory?
And she is from Nonsense.
Number 2. Speaking of the Flying Nun TV series, which habit is closest to your memory, 1 or 2?
And I was triggered by the chat, but when the chat saw the actual photos, they still thought it was different from their memory.
I'm leaning toward 1 on this one.
Okay, well, let's see what the chat says.
Okay, you guys say 1 or 2.
A lot of the people who said 2 last night, it was closer to their memory, but when they saw it, it didn't look like their memory at all.
Okay, so 3 of you guys are saying 2.
4. They're all saying 2. It's 2 in the chat 100% right now.
Wow.
And this is why I was triggered.
I'm thinking number 1, but then again, it might be an upgrade or something.
No, I remember 1 as well, Brian. I don't remember her wearing a lampshade. I don't. It's a lampshade. They took a lampshade and added wings to it.
And which colors do you remember?
Yes, now we're doing colors, everyone.
Gosh. This is a bit much for me, Sandy. I think number 3C.
Okay.
I could go with 1A or 3C.
You can go with 1A, yellow.
No, I thought that was white. I'm sorry.
White is
2B.
2B.
Yeah, 2B or 3C, one of those two.
So now in the chat, we have Gerald Neal with 2B, Pushing Buttons with 4D, Christine with 3C. Brian already moved on.
I didn't move on. I clicked it by mistake.
Okay. 2B for Christine Pendleton. Michael Russum is 2B or 3C. John Nada is 3C. Rich Vasanik is 2B. Noise Guru is 2B or not 2B. That is the question.
Wait, where's that comment?
Right there at the bottom.
Yeah, Noise Guru. Yeah, there you go.
No, Michael Fontaine remembers a cream color, which isn't even an option. I guess you could go with 1A, but that's not really what the color is. Lord Fry Bread is a 3C. It's okay, I'm for Christ. There's probably going to be more presentations where people don't know anything about them tonight. It's okay. Splatter is a 3D. Wait, 3D. 3C.
So for the size, huh?
Pushing Button says, B2, you sank my battleship. You sank my flying nun. It was covered by the heart. I just assumed battleship, sorry.
Yeah, for the size, it was
heart.
number 1 for Sandy, but still a large habit. But not a lampshade with wings, which is now what it looks like.
It looks like Dumbo now. Try out like Dumbo. And the lampshade, the huge visor, no way. Absolutely not.
Yeah, as for the color, I'm having a dual memory of 3 and 4. I think I'm leaning more towards 3, but she was definitely not wearing black and white in my past.
No, she was definitely wearing black and white in my
Definitely,
past.
sorry, definitely wearing black and white. But now she wears cream and yellow. Some episodes it looks cream, others a lemon yellow. So do you remember number 1? And look at that habit. Does that match your memory? You're talking about the flying nun in the series, right?
Yes. She's wearing yellow. It looks cream, but it's like a... no. Oh my gosh, it's wrong. I believe you. I believe you remember all white. It's definitely not white. You can even tell where even the images where the color is blown out, her collar is white. So you can see
maybe because of the jet engines moving a little bit more forward on the wings, maybe that's what happened here with her hat.
Okay, Brian. Jeff, are you even here? Did Jeff fall out?
I'm
Sandy,
here.
Sandy, did you get what I'm saying though? With the jet engines
Yes.
have moved forward on the wings.
Yes, I have. I get it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I get it.
This picture of a real nun is closest to my memory for Sally Field's costume on the show.
Slightly smaller wings, still large, but it's more the top part. It's like down more. It's not this gigantic, sticking out 17 inches from her head lampshade.
So you're saying more bat-like then than gull-like, like gull wings? Because here they look like gull wings.
Yeah, fine. It's more the hat part that I'm talking about, the part that's on her head, not a big lampshade. Yeah, the wings are gigantic now. I remember the wings on her hat being big, but not as big as they are now.
So I'm betting a lot of you remembered number 2, all white. I have residue for that as well, which I will be highlighting a darker green.
And apparently only a couple people remember all white. But at least I have some residue for you. Oh, and also, I do want to point out that go back 1 second, Brian.
Where?
Go back one, right there. The bottom right-hand corner, that kid's Halloween mask is blonde hair, because at least for some of the series, she now has very light brown to blonde hair. And I've never seen her with blonde hair in my life. That's what made me look at the Flying Nun at all in the first place.
Wow.
There's an all white in the top left corner. We're already gone.
Sorry.
And that's the only residue I found of number 4, color-wise, with the black habit on top. Here's more white residue. Here's current reality.
So it's yellow now?
Yeah, it's yellow. A dark, like a tan to yellow.
All right, number 3. One other thing I want to mention that may not be a Mandela. Do you know that wearing a habit was optional since the 1960s?
Yes or no? Did you know it was optional for nuns and sisters to wear a habit? Because for me, that's ridiculous.
No, I didn't know it was optional. I've always seen nuns with hats, those habits.
It was never optional. That's crazy.
No, Brian.
All right.
Christine didn't think it was optional. The white did not yellow with age. Those were scenes from the series.
And in some states,
there's paper dolls that I'm answering splatter, and there's paper dolls that it's flat out bright yellow.
Jeez. And in some states, habits are banned because of their connection to white supremacy. Did you know that? You can't make this stuff up. Are any of these Mandela effects for you? They are all Mandelas for me. Let me know your memory in the comments below.
And here's some crazy stuff where I know the color is off on the left. I didn't change it. It was just like that. But why is there that book there where they're all wearing pink? That's just crazy to me. Jeff, you want to read the next one?
Yeah.
Guys, we're getting to the new ones. Hang in there. 5 new ones tonight.
This is one of those Mandela effects where our memory is still in this reality. It's still the standard, but another version has creeped into this reality.
I was shocked how many people knew this, like, different reality than me. Shocked.
Humor me here. Please spell the word that describes what Dracula Nosferatu, did I say that right?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu and Count Chocula are. I never heard of Nosferatu before this.
Okay. I don't know if I would have heard about it had it not been for my history of film class.
Is it Vladimir?
No. What are all of them? Not their name. What are they?
Oh, they're vampires.
Yeah.
Right. So spell vampire, Brian.
Vampire.
Okay.
Why is it spelled differently?
Nope, not across the pond, John Nada. But yes, but not across the pond. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Of course, they are all vampires, but yes or no? Could vampire be also spelled with a Y in your past? Not my reality.
Wow, Jeff, your voice changed.
It did.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
Guys, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. People use it everywhere, not just in Europe. It's everywhere. I've never seen it before except one place. Brian, you have to change slide.
All right. I was just showing some of the comments. Go ahead.
Because we have that delay that we have to wait for to show
Yeah, I
up
was
on our
wondering about
screen.
that. That's why I read. I didn't mean to jump in. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not talking about occasionally to be creative or have a title stand out. Vampire is not only everywhere with Y. It's also the original story that most modern vampire stories stem from. It can be spelled either way in this reality.
Vampire or vampire or vampire or vampire, however you want to pronounce it. It can be used either way. It's both in this reality. For everyone, every country that speaks English.
I honestly do not even remember seeing vampire with a Y until beauty YouTubers began reviewing vampire cosmetics products. It was only just vampires with an I in my past. Was it both for you?
Really, there are people in the chat who remember the Y, which blows my mind. Never had a Y for me.
No, me either.
No, me
And
neither.
especially when they start referring, like you're going to see a slide where it's a Nosferatu doll, and it has vampire spelled with a Y. It was never with a Y for Nosferatu for me.
There is no need to show residue. Vampire has not disappeared. Instead, I will show you just how common vampire with a Y is in this reality.
It's showing all the ways here that vampire is spelled with a Y.
Yep, that's Coney Island on the bottom. Oh, there it is, the Nosferatu doll, and it's got vampire with a Y on the box. I think that's a game or something on the right.
Two, I have one more question that may not be a Mandela effect, but I have never seen this and should have.
The chat's answer surprised me here as well. Go on.
In college, I took a history of film class and we watched the 1922 film Nosferatu. Does anyone remember them remaking this film? Exactly the same film.
No.
Well, I certainly wouldn't because I don't even know who Nosferatu is.
And pushing buttons is yes. Yeah, the chat, like I said, the chat shocked me last night that they had heard of this. Were these? Nope, says Christine Pendleton.
That looks like Voldemort.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like my professor would have mentioned this film being remade in 1940, 1979. It's not a new interpretation. It's the exact same film with better quality costumes, effects, etc. Has anyone ever heard of these?
I have not. You would think, like, with my teacher, he would have, made us watch all three to see the differences and to talk
Yeah.
about the different techniques and stuff like that they used, like the improvements. I don't know. It just seems strange that none of those were mentioned.
Are either of these Mandela effects for you? Vampires in multiple Nosferatu films. Let me know what you remember in the comments.
Now, Brian, remember, you're skipping Michael Jackson. Take this one off the screen. We're not doing this one yet. That's the last one for the night.
Okay.
All right, guys. This is a quick one that I don't know if it's a Mandela effect or not. I'm going to let you guys decide because I've never really heard of it before. Like, I heard of it vaguely. Regardless. This is a quick one because I'm not sure if this is a Mandela. I just said that. While looking for vampire residue, I saw something that was two ways. Okay, Brian.
There was a TV movie in 1972 and TV series 1974 about a reporter that investigates and solves supernatural crimes. Which title do you remember for the TV series that aired for one season? Was it 1, Night Stalker, 2, The Night Stalker, or 3, Kolchak, The Night Stalker?
So which title do you remember for the TV series, not the movie?
I don't really know this one.
I don't either.
Gerald Neal says Night Stalker. Splatter says Kolchak. Oh my God, I remember all three, says Michael Russell. Rich Hasanic is the Night Stalker. So 2. Mr. Super Sidewinder is 2. Gerald Neal is 2. John Nada is 1, I think. Adam for Christ is 3. Welcome, Martino Berto, who says 3. Pushin is guessing 2. Never heard of it, says Christine. Super Mario Brothers is a 3. All over the place. So, yeah, even though I don't know this, it was a Mandela.
I could go with 1 or 2, but definitely not 3.
Okay. Joseph has never heard of it. Lord Frybread only remembers the 1920s Nosferatu. Same. Oh, wait, hold on. Gerald Neal said this is one of his favorite TV shows in the 70s. And he said 2. And now it's 3. Wanted to point that out. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, again, I have no idea. I can't say that the movie title is officially The Night Stalker. The comic books and TV series have a different name, though they were titled 3, Kolchak, The Night Stalker.
So the TV series and the comic books was number 3, Kolchak, The Night Stalker.
But I believe this could be a Mandela for a couple reasons. First, we frequently see additions to titles using the colon mark, like the second round Mandela effect with the movie Interview with a Vampire. First, then the Vampire Chronicles.
So here I want to point out that now this is the trailer. On the screen, the colon is no longer there. It was in 2018 when I found this. But the words underneath, it says Interview with the Vampire, the Vampire Chronicles. That's how it was on the screen when I found it in 2018.
Yeah, but originally it didn't have the secondary wording there at the bottom of Chronicles.
Correct.
That's
But
part.
now the colon is missing in the title. It was there though, I swear to you. Just to be clear, I didn't find the change. I did find the Vampire Chronicles. Oh, and also there is a new tagline. It's on the original poster. It's in the top left. That's one of from the newspapers. Does anyone remember "Drink from me and live forever" being on the poster and advertised with like movie listings in the paper? Because I don't. Brian, Jeff, do you remember "Drink from me and live forever" on the poster?
I do not.
No.
Going back to the Night Stalker, the other telltale sign of ME is seeing the title used both ways. Here you again see the TV series being advertised as just the Night Stalker, no Kolchak.
So for those of you that remember the Night Stalker #2, here's the residue because that makes more sense to me.
To me too. Plenty of residue here for the Night Stalker.
I agree, Gerald Neal. A vampire is better grammar than the vampire because if you're talking about a vampire, he's not the vampire, you know? He's just a vampire.
Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing of the Night Stalker in my past, but have no idea if this is a Mandela effect. So I'm asking you, is this a Mandela effect for you?
And based on the answers in the chat, I'm going to say it probably is.
All right, I think we are on the new ones now, Sandy.
We are on the new ones. You started with the new one just before. Jeff, do you want to do this one? Because I know you like this one.
All right. What I'm about to show you is just completely strange and disturbing.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to stay awake, Sandy. I'm sorry.
That's all right, Brian.
I need to know if these were in reality, if you had one, and if you did,
He didn't even
why you
finish
had
reading
one.
it. Oh my gosh, Brian. He didn't even finish reading it.
I did.
Okay.
Because if you did, we can't be friends. LOL, just kidding. But full disclaimer, some may be Photoshop. I was only able to verify one image as being Photoshopped, which is why which I will show at the end. But I think the rest are actually real. Oh, yeah. We have all seen ski masks before, right? Itchy, uncomfortable, but worth the discomfort with below freezing temperatures and when skiing on the slopes. But have you ever seen these atrocities before? Again, might be Photoshop, but I could not find any other origin photo. Are these things new to your reality?
Yes or no in the chat. Have you ever seen them looking like this before? Brian, have you ever seen ski masks like this before?
No.
It's like, there's a name like I want to say baklava, but it's not. Baklava? I don't know. It's got another name. Never, says Christine. And I am a skier. No, says Gerald Neal. Only in more. Oh, thank you. Balaclava. That's it. Thank you, Michael Russum. And he said only in more recent years. And also from Noise Guru, Balaclava. Thank you very much. Brian, you can go on. There you go. Show more pictures.
Sorry, I'm trying not to flake out here.
So here's the Photoshop, guys.
Here's the only one that is verified Photoshop. Besides, you can see the repeating pattern in that kid's hair. It's obviously fake. But the rest, I really think they are real in this timeline.
Brian, don't worry. You'll wake up when we get to Michael Jackson. You will wake up to that. I promise you.
Okay.
It's going to blow your mind, Brian. All right, I'll read this one when it gets on my screen. There is a new Japanese worm to our reality that I want to share with you. It's so crazy that the worm is named after a creature in Godzilla that I can't pronounce. Meet Ramessos kingodorai, or the Godzilla worm. This is the only worm ever discovered that has one head. Sometimes, I'll explain later. And Brian, sorry, I was going to tell you to take over, but someone actually turned their car alarm off. And an unlimited amount of butts. It literally looks like a fuzzy lightning bolt when it's positioned right. You'll see it in the next image, but it's got one head and 100 butts. That's how they describe it. The worm shares a stomach and intestines with exits at each butt, but scientists found nothing inside them. They do not know how, what, or even if they eat. And that's its cute little head right there on the right.
Water, but we still don't actually know how this thing eats or poops, or if it poops at all. So you may be asking yourself.
That's it. That's not the clip that was supposed to be there. Oh well. Turn it
Water,
off,
but we
Brian.
still don't actually
Hit
know.
pause. Hit pause. Thank you. That's not the clip. I used the wrong clip. I can't even tell. They're hard to see. Anyway, if 100 butts wasn't weird enough, any butts can evolve into a pseudo head. And once fully evolved, that new head on the butt breaks off of the worm, swims away, shaking their butts to attract a mate, and then they die after they mate. They mate, lay their eggs, and die. And the video is supposed to be them shaking, but the clips all look the same. I'll have to update it. Have you guys ever seen this weird sea worm before? It was discovered almost 2 years ago, so I'm surprised I haven't heard of it until now. I'm surprised it didn't jump from any of the groups or anything like that on Facebook. Oh, the image on the right, really quick. Those two white arrows are two butts that are turning into heads that will break off of the worm.
I guess this is just food for another animal.
Mr. Super Sideliner, that it's great. It's a butt head, literally.
It is a butt head. I'm going to star that comment.
All right,
That's
Brian,
what I was thinking.
Yeah. You read this one, Brian. I know you've been waiting for this. There's also another one in here.
Wait, who's reading?
You.
Okay. There have been several Mandela effects with the movie Scream over the years, from it being based on a true story to the glittery robe and gloves to the long drawn-out Scream mask. There are two new Mandela effects for me in Scream. The first is the first phone Drew Barrymore uses in the beginning of the first film. Look at how huge that phone is. Before grabbing the portable phone, she answers the corded phone on the end table. What color was that phone? Was it black, white, or black and white?
So the first phone she answers is on the end table. It's a corded phone. If you remember the movie, what color was the phone? 1 black, 2 white, or 3 black and white?
I thought it was black. I could be wrong there, but I thought it was black.
Jeff, do you remember?
No, I don't think I ever saw these.
If you guys aren't sure, is there one you know it's not? When did Drew Barrymore star in Scream? She's the first to go. Michael Rustin said the cordless phone looks different to him. I'd say not black, says Push a Button. All right, we can go on, Ryan. I remember white. Does that look right to you guys?
I just remember white phones. This is what Sandy says. Both the corded and the cordless were both white. But the corded phone is number 3, black and white. You remember this?
Pushin says nope.
No, it wasn't. It was either all black or all white. It wasn't this mixed Oreo color.
No. And guys, when I went to look for phones online, they were all like 2 colors now. It was so hard to find. That's why I had that weird brown with leather on top. I couldn't find a single color phone that was in that form factor.
That's so weird. There's residue
of the white. I found residue of what I remember.
The mask, again, number 2, the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before, the Mandela with the mask is that it is longer, more drawn out, and narrower at the chin. But the mask has 2 things different from my memory of the new version of the mask. Do you guys remember the weeping looking eyes, which are raised, bulging out of the mask? Question mark. Okay, so all the chin, also the chin is even more narrow, which is why I believe it now curves outwards. Do you remember the curvature at the bottom? The curve. Look at that. Come on, guys.
It like literally curves out, and it's so flimsy at the bottom now. I don't remember it looking that thin.
I don't remember those eyes like that either.
No, the eyes are wrong. They're bulging. I don't remember that. Michael Rustin says definitely not.
Oh, and correction, 3 things. I also do not remember the heart-shaped nose. Do you? It's literally like a heart-shaped nose there.
I also don't remember the nose being shaped like a nose. I just remember it being flat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it sticking out.
No, it was flat. Michael Rosen says definitely not. Joseph says no. TD Mage says nope. Doesn't have one of those masks on his wall.
It's all wrong. I agree, Joseph. All wrong. So here's some Scream posters and scenes from the movie so you can see the mask better. I go to that curve. So I can't. Everything looks wrong. Oh,
no,
gosh.
there wasn't a nose piece. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was no nose piece. That's new.
The nose is wrong. The eyes are wrong. The mouth is wrong. It's all wrong. 100,000% all wrong. Good night, John Nada. Thank you for being here.
Good night, John Nada.
Mustard Seed of Faith says, wow, we have shifted realities again. We're shifting realities constantly, I believe.
Yeah, the nose looks so wrong, guys.
Everything looks wrong. Here's some residue. There's a duplicate image because I needed it to keep the spacing.
Were you able to find the mask without the nose?
No, I remember the nose. I just don't remember it sticking up. And I don't remember it being like a heart shape. It was more like the bottom right. You could see. Well, no, it's more like a heart too. I had one, but Jeff, I know you want to read this. And there's more in here you don't know about.
This is the third year in a row that candy has popped into my reality that never existed before. These are absolutely Mandela effects for me, but I'd like to know if they are for you too.
I could never push buttons. Oh my goodness. I can't even kill spiders with my foot.
I use those reach tools to kill spiders. You know those clamp reach tools? They work great there, killing spiders. Go ahead.
Well, charms. You can go to the next slide. Go ahead, Jeff.
Growing up in the 1980s, Charms candy products were plentiful in trick-or-treaters' candy pails and bags. The most common candies being Charms Pops and Charms Blow Pops.
And those are the sour balls, in case anyone was wondering.
But one of their original candies was their square version of Lifesavers, simply called Charms. This one isn't a candy that didn't exist. It's the flavor that is new to my reality. Whorehound was covered previously in the community, but this is the first time I've seen Charms coming in Whorehound flavor. Is this new for you too?
Does anyone remember Whorehound flavor ever existing?
Not me.
Not my reality.
I forgot about Charms. They were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard the word whorehound in my life. Till now.
Oh, what's it taste like?
Well, that's
What
what's on
does
the
whorehound
slide.
taste like? The herb is from the mint family, but is described as a root beer and licorice flavor. And don't worry about the butter flavor. It's butterscotch. LOL.
Yeah, at the top says lemon, butter, lime. Tootsie Rolls. Next slide, Brian. We have a delay.
Everyone knows what a Tootsie Roll is, right? Well, besides the standard ones and the fruit flavors, do you remember ever hearing about any other type of flavor, maybe from your grandparents?
So in the chat, stay here, Brian. Does anyone know of any other Tootsie Rolls besides these offerings? And I'm going to tell you, they don't exist now. That's why I said, have you ever heard of it from your grandparents? Like, has any of your grandparents ever said, wow, I miss this type of Tootsie Roll? Anyone had that experience? Christine is a nope. Braggamine only knows the chocolate. You are missing out. The fruit ones are really good.
They are.
But I like Fruities better. They're their competitor. Fruities are better, in my opinion. Brian?
Yep.
I was going to ask if you had an answer, but you're already on the next slide, so it's okay. Go ahead.
No, I don't really have an answer to that.
Okay.
Because I've never heard any adult in childhood say they miss the chocolate peanut combo of peanut Tootsie Rolls. Have you? Again, may not be a Mandela, but I think it is. And check out that price symbol in T.
Yeah, so look on the next slide, I have a close-up, Brian. You don't have to zoom in. Go to the next slide. Look at the letter T in the top. what? It's an eye with a line sticking out of it. And look where the scent symbol is. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's always to the right. It's supposed to be to the right. Cents are to the right, dollars are to the left.
It's inside the 5. But look at that letter T on the top left, Brian. So weird. And look at the scent symbol here. It's like the sickle. It's a sickle. It's not. It's no. And the C is eating the word chocolate.
I've also never heard of Tootsie Roll expanding into the fudge and caramel markets. Have you?
Milky caramels and Tootsie fudge. No one in my family enjoyed these things. I find that weird.
Yeah.
Like Tootsie Rolls were big when I was a kid. Like we get the Tootsie Roll banks filled with Tootsie Rolls for Christmas and stuff like that. So I just find it weird. Kind of weird. Baby Ruth, moving on.
When you think of Baby Ruth candy, I'm going to bet you think of the chocolate nougat bar covered in peanuts, right? Or at the very least, Chunkin' Sloth and Goonies.
There had to be a paid advertising there for that company.
Oh yeah.
But can you think of any other Baby Ruth products? Once again, I'm going to ask if you maybe heard of anything from the older generations in your childhood.
So yes or no? All right, Brian, can you go back,
Oh,
please?
sorry.
Sorry. In the chat, has anyone ever heard of any other products besides the candy bar?
Not me.
So Joseph is a no.
Not me either.
Hi, Ryan Spirit. Thanks for hopping in. TD Mage is a no. Splatter's a no. I haven't. Nope, says Christine. Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
For starters, Otto Schoening is the guy that invented Baby Ruth candy bars. He made them popular not because they were great, but because he gave millions away for free. But before we talk about that, again, grandparents, parents, relatives, etc. Have you ever heard of Baby Ruth nuggets or buddies? My guess is they were the first fun-sized Baby Ruths, but that is not why Baby Ruth is a Mandela effect.
This is why.
It's the Baby Ruth lime candy. Mints and
No.
gum. Have you ever heard of these before?
You guys ever seen these online? Ever heard a grandparent, relative, anyone saying, "Man, I miss Baby Ruth gum"? Stop it. Never.
No way.
Lime drops? Absolutely not. So dumb I can't.
No way.
Again, they were probably discontinued way before we were born, but again, you should have heard somebody mention it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pushing Button says it looks like Pee Wee's Trick Gum.
It does. I'm starring that one.
Back to Otto. He made all of the Baby Ruth line of candies popular by dropping the candy from airplanes on little parachutes.
You guys ever heard of this happening? Because you know what? You would think someone in your family would say, wow, you guys, when I was little, they dropped candy from airplanes. Like, no one said that to you? I just find that strange. Because, like, I don't know. This was a big event. But God.
All right, it's 2019 rewind.
Oh no,
Whoa,
I didn't read the
that
one
wasn't the
before
end
that.
of it. That wasn't even the end of it. There were more.
What?
Go back. There were more slides. That wasn't the end of it.
I went there and I didn't see any more. Let me go
Go
back.
back. Yeah, go
You
back
had
and
it on
refresh.
there.
They're there.
I've got to give me 1 second here. I got to find it.
I mean, you're missing all the pictures of the planes and stuff. Like,
All right, sorry about that. Here it is.
first he did this. Go ahead, Jeff.
First, he did this with the regular candy bar and then decided to do it again with the gum and mints. I find it hard to believe I've never heard about this from my parents or grandparents.
Next slide should be pictures. If you just skipped over one.
Yeah, it's not my fault, Sandy. I'm falling asleep. So I'm literally falling asleep.
You should have started when I told you to. Alright. That one you don't have to read. It's okay. Now we can go on.
All right.
Are any of these candies not from your reality? They're all 100% new to mine. Let me know what you remember in the comments below.
All right, so here's a 2019 rewind. Sandy says, I started this presentation as just a rewind, giving my original thriller Mandela Effect a proper presentation. But it sent me down a Mandela Effect rabbit hole of wrong lyrics, Yanny Laurels, color changes, and even something that never existed in my past. So buckle up, there's a lot to cover. I like how you made this one red, black, and white.
Yeah, well, because it was a rewind. I wanted it to stand out.
Yeah, thanks. Here's the rewind. In 2019, Sandy discovered that Thriller had changed from my memory, and now I believe the word has changed to Yanny Laurel. Question 1, rewind. It's close to midnight, and something's evil lurking, blank the dark. I thought it was in the dark. Is something different?
Well, like I said, it's a Yanny Laurel now.
It's close to midnight, and something's evil lurking, blank the dark.
No, something evils. That was an autocorrect. Something evils lurking in the dark. That's what I remember.
Okay.
It's all in the dark in the chat. And the lyrics have not changed. The lyrics are still the same.
Yeah, all you guys are saying in.
And Noise Guru remembers it's after midnight.
Before I ask the new question, I need to explain why I believe this is a Yanny Laurel situation. I've listened to this clip 20 plus times and I cannot hear the word it is supposed to be. Neither do a few others I've asked. But some hear the word it should be clear as day.
And now I'm hearing it both ways. I'm hearing, well, no, I'm not hearing the second clip both ways. But this one I heard both ways now.
Something evil's lurking in the dark. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
Okay, Brian, stop it, because you're going to have to play that again after you read.
Okay, here is the rewind clip. It was always in the dark for me. The lyrics still say in, but he sings from the dark now. Do you any of you still hear in? Because I can still hear it both ways now too.
So guys, when you listen, say in your head, you'll hear in. Say from, you'll hear from. So play it again.
Something evil's lurking in the dark.
I hear from now.
Something evil's lurking in the dark.
What? I hear both. I can.
That's what I
It's
said.
Yep.
It's
That's what
both
happened to
now.
me. I was
oh my
freaking
goodness!
out.
It's one of those. It's one of those green needle things
Right.
or brain needle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Play it one more time for them. If you heard in, think from.
Yeah, you're
when
gonna
you
hear.
it.
You're gonna hear it both ways.
Something evil's lurking in the dark. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
Yeah, I can hear from and in.
Mm-hmm.
That's so freaking weird.
It's gonna get weirder, Brian. Go on.
In 2019, 100% heard from the dark, and I and many other have asked still hear from. But Jeff says he hears the old reality in the dark. Which do you hear?
And then we started hearing both. So that go on. It's now both.
Now
It
I hear
changed.
both.
Now we hear both. So go
Yeah, I
on.
hear both.
And it gets even worse than that.
It gets worse. Keep going.
But the whole thing with Yanni and Laurel, I used to only hear Yanni, but everybody in the news and everybody said they were hearing Laurel, and that's all I hear now is Laurel. I can't hear Yanni anymore.
I can't hear Laurel. I tried it last night. I can't hear Laurel.
As for the new one, I've listened to this clip.
It's not a
20 plus
repeat.
times.
It's not a repeat. Read it.
Okay, I've listened to this clip 20 plus times. I cannot hear the word as it's supposed to be. Neither do a few others I've asked. But some hear the word, it should be as clear as day.
It's just.
So here is the clip. Which do you hear? Hand, one hand, two, hold, or three,
Wait.
shoulder.
Wait,
like
listen.
shoulder minus the ER.
I before you play it, I need to clarify. Do you hear an and sound or an old sound? Like ol or an? What do you hear when you hear the clip?
Oh my God.
You hear it now.
I hear it now.
I hear both.
I don't hear both.
I could not hear the O sound last night, no matter how many times we tried it. Now I hear it. What is going on here?
Why does it say shoulder?
That's the problem, yeah. I cannot hear hand at all, no matter how I try. We tried speeding it up, slowing it down, but by doing that, Jeff heard shoulder, and now he's hearing shoulder all the time. It was never shoulder.
It was hand.
Clear as day. The lyrics still say hand.
What's wrong with his music?
But some people still hear hand. Jeff heard hand last night. Now he doesn't.
Now I hear hold.
Yeah, hold, shoulder, old, cold. Any
But I
old
couldn't
sound.
hear it. No matter how many times I tried, I couldn't hear it. Like Sandy was hearing it, and now I hear it.
And look at the chat.
Yeah.
Teeny Mage can't hear hand at all, but Christine Pendleton, I hear cold hand. Exact opposite.
But of the people I asked, it was pretty much split 50-50. Half hear hand, the correct lyric, and half hear an old sound like cold, hold, or shoulder. Do you believe this could be a Yanni Laurel type Mandela effect? The residue is people singing the song with the correct words, how they should sound. And I have clips of Michael Jackson singing it in clear as day. But when he sings hand, it still has that old sound for me every time. I also have him singing in clearly too.
Something evil's lurking in the door. Something evil's lurking in the door.
Yeah, if you say from there in your head, you'll still hear in because he's singing in clearly.
Yeah, he's singing in clearly. But what's up with the other one? And the
Just
actual.
wait. I'm gonna
What?
listen. Okay.
Michael
Listen.
Jackson in concert singing cold hand, old or shoulder sound. I still don't hear hand.
Now I hear hold on that too, and I heard hand last night.
Well, the next clip is it slowed down, and this is how Jeff heard it. So if you heard hand, tell me with the slowed down clip if you hear the old sound. I cannot hear hand no matter what I do.
Yeah, I can't either. Not on that one.
Me either anymore.
And now Splatter.
Here he's
Wait.
here.
Wait,
It sounds like he sings at the door.
wait, stop. Splatter, when we slow it down, here's soul. You feel the cold soul. You know, like who will save your soul?
Yeah.
And it could be soul now. So anyway,
Wait,
yeah,
wait, hold
here,
on. Let me play it again.
Okay. I still clearly hear a shh sound.
It might be in the process of still changing, Sandy.
Could be, but this one he clearly sings at the door.
With the lurking at the door.
Yep.
Something with the lurking at the door.
That doesn't even sound like him.
No, and it could be possible that he changed the lyrics for the live performance.
Something with the lurking at the door.
At the door. Yeah, that's crazy. Credit family friendly gaming in from
The door.
it's an audio it's
the same audio, but it's cleaned up a bit, and I can still hear it both ways.
Me
too.
Yep.
When
So
I
it's
want to
one of
hear
those
in,
audio
I hear
effects.
in. When I want to hear from, I hear from.
Yep.
Yeah. What does that mean? It means it could be in two different timelines simultaneously?
Or different frequencies, yeah.
You feel the cold. You feel the cold. You feel the cold.
I cannot hear hand.
I do not hear hand. It used to say hand very clearly.
Yes,
Yep.
it did. I have residue about it.
No resolve and ashes to me.
That's clear as day in.
And yeah.
Clearly
The
in.
HSCC.
You feel the cold hand and wonder. You feel the cold hand.
Clear as day hand, the way it should be. The
Cold hand. Wonder feel the cold hand. Wonder feel the cold.
That was
Yeah,
clear as
definitely
day.
hand.
No
Possible
resolve
new
and
Mandela.
ashes to new.
Possible new Mandela in the video Smooth Criminal. While Moneybag73 found a Mandela in the song a few years ago, the video for Smooth Criminal has a double Mandela for me too. So question 1. In your past, what color was his suit, white or tan? And yes or no, do you remember pinstripes on the suit? Anyone?
I do not remember pinstripes. Christine remembers pinstripes. You can answer what you answered yesterday, Ryu. It's okay. White and no pinstripes is pushing buttons. So 1, no pinstripes. Christine is 100% pinstripes. Which color suit, Christine? 1 or 2? Michael Russum, I remember both. Maybe pinstripes. One seems more familiar. Tell you what, Michael Jackson's a hot mess now. He's not a smooth criminal, though. Hot mess.
I think we can move on, right?
Yep. We're not getting answers. White with pinstripes is Christine.
Question 2. What color was his shirt and the band on his arm? Purple, blue, or black?
I already know your answer, Noise. It's okay. A, B, or C, guys. Purple, blue, or black?
Not sure on this one.
Brian, you
I wrote-
actually answered what Noise Guru said, so hold off. Christine's black. Black, I think, of Michael Russum. B for splatter. He remembers the blue. Christine is C. Hard to believe. Welcome, says black, I think. Gerald Neal's not sure. Pushin said, I said B last night, but it's too bright. Christine says, I watch this video all the time. And Christine said C. Pushing buttons, I go with C. Ryu says C.
Yeah, Matt Reed talked about the pinstripes back in April of this year. I'm honestly not sure about the pinstripes. They do make sense since it is a gangster suit pattern. But notice he says white suit.
That's what I remember. Number 1.
While the hat is still white with a black band, the suit is now dark. It's now dark and light tan with pinstripes. No, it was never pinstripes. And the band and shirt are blue. None of this matches my memory. I remember a white suit with a black band and black shirt. Is that what you remember? Also, I have a dual memory on this one, guys, of purple and black. Surprisingly, Sandy found residue for me.
I did. Oh, you did not say the same as North Bureau. I'm sorry. I forgot. Yeah, you said purple.
If you remember a red shirt, it could be because of the Moonwalker cover art. For some reason, they made his shirt red, but he still has a blue armband, tan suit, and white hat.
And that's what Noise Guru remembers, a red shirt.
Yeah. There was no pinstriping for me.
No.
Or maybe you remember a white shirt. And does anyone remember him wearing this outfit with gold pants? It was just for the live performances, so I cannot say this is Mandela or not.
All I can say is it looks ridiculous. But here's the current reality. The blue shirt is now satin. I don't remember it being satin and shiny, but it is now. Does anyone remember him wearing a satin shirt?
No, I don't remember those pinstripes.
I don't remember any of this. Like I said, to me, he looks like a hot mess. White hat with a black band, tan suit with blue. What? Why wouldn't they give him a tan hat with a blue band to match? That looks so dumb. Look at the satin shirt. I can't. It's so wrong.
There's residue of the black, right? Is that black up there on the top left?
Yep. The whole slide is black and white, Brian.
But if you look closely on that top right one, it kind of looks blue on his shirt.
The shirt may be. The armband and the
Okay.
hat is black.
Possible new Mandela Michael Jackson video from another reality.
Now, guys, I
This-
had to clip out the video. But I will, if you go to my video from last night, the link is in the description. I will add it to this description after this airs. But if you want to just, after the show, want to go check it out, it's linked in the description from the show last night.
Yeah, the last one's blowing Sandy's mind. An entire video, a mini movie, never existed in my past, and I'm curious if this was part of your reality. Yes or no? You guys recall Michael Jackson making a theatrical video like Thriller, also with a similar spooky theme in the late 1990s?
Do you remember that, Brian?
No. And I watched MTV. Back then I watched MTV and VH1 a lot. Because, I mean, that's what you did when you were in your teenage years and stuff.
Yeah.
Back then. Most everyone here is saying no.
Splatter says yes, though.
Okay. This was 2 years after his History album, which was released. Ghosts was released as a single and part of the History remixes. I've never seen these before, have you? But the theatrical film is the real Mandela effect for me. Released in 1997, Michael Jackson plays both himself, the ghost, and the main white guy. He plays a white guy leading the pack of angry townspeople.
It was actually 1996. I just wanted to clarify. And Super Mario told me it was originally released in 1993, but it wasn't complete or polished. The final version came out in 1996. So we had 2 shots of seeing this, and I've never heard of it or seen it before.
Never heard or seen it as 40-minute short film style video before. The video will be linked in Sandy's description after the show if you want to see the whole thing. Is this new to your reality too? Are any of these Mandela effects for you? Are the lyrics changes from your memory affected by the Yanni Laurel effect? Or have you ever heard or seen of ghosts before? All this is wrong for me. Not my reality at all.
So I added 2 slides. I want to point out, I remember the History album on the top left. I do not remember History/Ghosts. Do you guys?
No, just the History album.
And on the History/Ghosts album, there's a red bar flag, which you will see close-up of on the next slide. That is a red bar flag. On the
Wow.
album cover. Just want to point that out.
All right.
And that is all, folks. We're not done Halloween yet. I'm sorry, Mandelaween folders are still going to be popping up. But we're done with the Halloween intros, stuff like that. I still have folders to get through, and I just don't, it's not going to be all Mandelaween. You're just going to be seeing Mandalaween sneaking in for another week, and then if I don't get stuff done, it'll get pushed to next year. I just have too many. Halloween is, there's always a lot of Halloween Mandela effects. I don't know what it is. Halloween. It's spooky,
What's going to be
creepy,
the
and Mandela
hashtag for
effective.
tonight, Sandy? What's the hashtag tonight?
Well, how about we make it Thriller, because it's so messed up.
Hashtag Thriller.
Yep.
All right, guys, if you'll put that into the chat, you'll be entered for a $5 drawing for a $5 gift card from Amazon.
And Brian, while you're waiting for the entries to come in, you should put your email in the chat.
Yes.
The winner.
Yes, the winner needs to. I'll send it through all Sandy, yours and mine, so that people can see it. Because I know you half your viewers are on your channel.
Yep, Mandela Effect Awareness at gmail.com. That's who the winner is to email. I'm going to write down.
Okay. I put it in the chat, Sandy.
Oh, thank you.
Hashtag Thriller, and you're entered. We got 5 so far. Well, guys, there's 25 people watching. You got 6 entered.
Oh, while we're waiting, Noise Guru, I looked into that Internext. Not a good option. It took an hour to upload one folder. An hour. And on top of that, my current database is 30 gigabytes, which is $4.99 a month, which is a little bit less than half the price of Flickr, but Flickr at least uploads all of my slides in a couple minutes, as opposed to 1 hour for one presentation. Oh, I was like, nope, I can't do this. But thank you. Keep the suggestions coming, because maybe we will find something better than Flickr.
We're at 9 entries right now, guys. Now we're at 10. Come on, we need at least 20. If we can get to 20, I'll go ahead and hit the draw.
Splatter, you hit a 3. We need a hashtag. Well, I tested Thriller because there was a lot of video clips.
All right, we got 11.
That's interesting. It was not instant for me. And like I said, I'd still have to pay for it because I'm already at 30 gigabytes. And then I have to worry about it growing and then the price going up. Whereas Flickr, it's one fee for unlimited. Doesn't matter what gigabytes you have.
All right, come on, we're at 11, guys. I guess we'll stop at 15. If we can get to 15, I'll hit draw. Come on, you guys.
Oh my gosh, I'll enter.
Yeah, go ahead, Sandy.
If
Jeff.
I win, I will give it to someone who is not here.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, did you enter?
No. How do I do that?
Hashtag Thriller.
Type hashtag Thriller in the chat.
I'm not in
I don't
the
know
chat.
if it might have to be all caps. I'm not sure, guys. Sandy, I think you have to do all caps.
Oh gosh, guys, if you didn't do all caps, enter again, please.
Wait. Okay, yeah. There we go. We got 12. $13.
Oh wait, wrong one.
We get to 15, we can go ahead and hit draw.
Did mine hit 3 L's? No, okay.
Jeff, did you get yours entered?
Yeah.
No, you didn't, because you didn't do all capitals. You have to do it all caps, Jeff.
Oh.
Are we at 15 yet? Come on. We got actually, we're at 13. Come on, guys. Jeff, did you get it?
Yeah.
I'd say we call it Brian.
All right, I'm going to call it now. Let's see who it is. Who's our lucky winner tonight?
Mage. Yay,
TD Mage
congratulations.
Congratulations, TD Mage. Congratulations.
Please send an email to mandelaeffectawareness@gmail.com so he can send you your gift code. All right, guys, that is it for us
That's a
tonight.
wrap.
We will
Yes.
see you tomorrow evening, 4:15 p.m. Pacific, 6:15 p.m. Central, 7:15 p.m. Eastern for an all Back to the Future special, all Back to the Future Mandela effects. And I think we have one or two new ones that I have to put together still. So
All right,
it's
that's
not
it.
just ones that we've covered before. There is, I know at least there is one that's brand new. There might be two.
All right, guys. Have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless.
Good night, everyone. Have a great night.